Are we here? Is it time? What are we doing? I can't hear me. Give me a second. There we go. All right. Here we are. Woo woo. Woo woo. Woo woo. Woo woo. We're live. I gotta tweet this ish. Give me a hot sec. Welcome to the first movie review Wednesday live, everybody. How y'all doing? We're gonna get the chat built up before we get into our actual spoiler review and discussion of the Suicide Squad. We're going to get the chat built up. Give me a hot sec to tweet this out that we are live. And we will be on our happy, merry way. But say what's up in the chat. I'll get you guys up there. Let me know how you guys are doing. It's been a hot minute since we've done a live. Last live was Loki live, which is good. So give me a sec. Sorry, everyone. I got home from work like 5 minutes ago. So give me a hot second to get everything set. Share. Let me get the link. Give me a sec. I see y'all are in the chat. Give me a sec. This new font on Twitter is giving me vibes that I'm not digging. Last spoiler review. All right, it's tweeted. Let's get it on. Happy Wednesday, Alex. How are you doing? Hoping you're having a great day. I missed Jack's streams. I missed my streams too. My watch time is tanking. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Yo, you're here. Film stock, my man Chris. What's good, bro? Suicide Squad is my favorite movie of the year. I will ask you, Chris, if you're still in here. Would you be interested in, I don't know, hopping on and joining the discussion if you want? Because we have two different opinions. So if you want to hop on, let me know and I'll send you that link hot. Spoiler review. It is a spoiler review. I did my spoiler-free review. This is a spoiler review, and I will tell you guys what this whole thing is in a minute. But we're gonna let the chat build up. Suicide Squad's a magical experience. I had fun with it. I personally love the movie. James Gunn did a great direction. Jack knows I haven't seen. Yeah, I was gonna say you tricked me there for a second. I'm like, there's no way you've seen this, Reagan. There is no way. Ricardo, what's up, my man? How you doing? Thanks for coming, guys. This is cool. People are actually here waiting. That's lit. And I was the only person on the stream tonight. Sasha's not here. All right. So I'll tell you all what this is. So basically what we're going to be doing is I'm going to Okay. Don't leave. I'm here. You pay 70 plus bucks a month for what they say is the best Wi-Fi. You would think the Wi-Fi would work. I don't have anything else on in my apartment. Nothing else is on. The only thing that is on Wi-Fi right now is my computer, and it's not even on Wi-Fi. It is hardwired into the wall. So that doesn't make any sense, but here we are. All right. So I was explaining what this thing is. So basically, and thank you, Reagan and Ricardo, for shouting out that I was frozen. I know I was. Thank you. So basically, what this thing is so I watch pretty much every new release each week. There are very few releases that I will not watch. Olds being one of them. I just didn't like the vibe of that. And then Candyman, I refuse to go see. I'm not going to see that film. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up a poll on Twitter each weekend. I'm going to say, here are the movies I'm going to go see. Here are the new releases I'm going to go see. You pick which one we talk about. And basically what we're going to do is, based on that poll, whichever one you guys vote on, we are going to do a live stream every Wednesday night as much as I can. Sometimes work and stuff conflicts, and we're getting into football season, so we'll see. But basically what's going to happen is we're going to do a long spoiler review / discussion. What that's going to turn into is I'm turning this also into podcast form. So it's going to be, Fanatic Films. See, Fanatic Films isn't going to die. Fanatic Films presents Movie Review Wednesday, and it's going to be in podcast form. It's going to be in podcast form. And so we're going to have a clear cut in and a clear cut out. You guys will know when that is. And yes, so that is, what we're going to do. See you, Reagan. Have a good time. I did see the first episode of Hate and Beast. Great job. Keep up the good work. Keep it up. Good stuff. Have a good night. Actually watching through a certain series of movies and rank them right now. I wish I could hop on. I will support this movie to the death. Hey, that's all right, man. We'll get you on another episode. There's a lot of good movies coming out soon, so we'll get you on another episode. But I'm excited to see that ranking. So everyone, go subscribe to Chris. But hopefully you're staying in the chat and talking it up because we're having a good time. So basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to do I'm going to give my full spoiler review, going to get more in depth on the certain aspects that I liked, and for this one, the certain aspects that I didn't like. And then I'm going to open it up to you guys. We're going to take the live chats, questions, comments, theories, but there is a caveat. When we are in that allotted time for the podcast, they have to be about the movie. I'm not going to answer any other questions. I'm not going to pull up any other questions if they are not about the movie we are talking about. I want to get your guys' questions and comments in to that podcast version of this about the movie. So you watch the ticker. Just wait for it. Here it comes. Here it is. Whoops, it's like a little train. Get your questions, thoughts, and theories on the Suicide Squad. Sorry, it's going really slow. In the chat to be featured in the show. You guys will be featured in the show. I want this to be interactive. I want to talk to you guys, but they got to be about the movie. But I will make it clear when we are in those parameters. Afterwards, we can do regular Q&A, do whatever. But I will say I'm exhausted. I woke up early this morning to go take a walk before I had to go to work. And I got to do that again tomorrow morning because I'm going to the movie theater tomorrow night to see 2 movies. So I'm not going to be on here forever. It is already almost 8 o'clock. The ticker is on, and we're going to get in and get out and have a good time. But I think without further ado, and Alex, I see your comment, and I will answer that during the, I'm going to answer that during the actual podcast section of this. So if y'all are ready, I think let's just get into it. I think let's get into the review. Again, leave your questions, comments, and theories, or any thought that you have on the Suicide Squad in the comments. I do have a section where I will be discussing and talking about them. There is a specific section in the show where I will be talking about them. But if you want to be featured in the actual podcast version that's going to come out of this, they got to be about the Suicide Squad. All right? So we're going to start that right now. All right? Let's get into it. How's it going, guys? Welcome. This is the first episode. If you are listening in audio form, if you are here in the stream, y'all are the real ones. But if you are listening in podcast form, this is the first episode of Fanatic Films Presents Movie Review Wednesday, where every Wednesday night on my YouTube channel, Jack Lautaret, we dive deep into one of the new releases that released the week before. And this week, of course, to kick it off, we got to be talking about The Suicide Squad, the newest film from James Gunn, starring the likes of Idris Elba, Margot Robbie, John Cena, all of the people. Oh my God. So basically, here's how this is going to work. We're going to do a full spoiler review. So if you have not seen the film already, go watch it and then come back and listen because it's dope. But we are going to do a full spoiler review, and then we are going to open it up to the chat in my live stream right now. If you do not know, every Wednesday night we go live on my YouTube channel and film these episodes if you are listening audio. If you want to get involved, come over to my YouTube channel and get in the chat on Wednesday nights. I already got people in my chat right now that are putting in questions and comments about the show, about the film, and I'm going to answer those in a little bit. But I think let's just get into first my overall thoughts about the film. Okay, I've been one of the people that has bashed this film. Not really bashed it, but I'm not one of the people that is going to say that it is a masterpiece. I'm not one of the people that's going to say that it is one of the greatest superhero or comic book movies of all time, because it's not. It's just not. I think, and we will go more in depth on these things, but I think the things that I don't love, the writing is not good in this movie at all. It's not. You are not attached to any of the characters. The only character you are attached to is Ratcatcher 2, which we will talk about her in my goods. But the only character that I was any sense of the word attached to in this film is Ratcatcher 2. She's the only really good part about this film in terms of writing, I would say. And the rest of the writing just isn't that strong. And I talked about this a little bit in my spoiler-free review, but I'm going to get more in depth in it here. The real main problem I have is the fact we've seen this movie twice already from James Gunn. We've seen this movie twice. The first two Guardians of the Galaxies. It is the same movie from him. He's got his tropes that he follows. He's got the things that he does. You know, he has the awesome soundtrack, which I won't lie, the soundtrack was good. Of course it is. James Gunn knows music just as good as he knows film. But the problem that we run into, you ruin the emotion by throwing in a cheap joke. Now, I will not lie, and I will say, and I will be completely honest, I did laugh out loud at some points. There were some funny bits, and we're getting into spoilers. When they raid the camp and Peacemaker and Bloodsport are having a basically who has a bigger hoo-ha off and who can have the more creative kill, I got to laugh at. I thought that was very clever, and I had a lot of fun with that. I'm not going to lie. There were moments that made me laugh. But there are other moments where we are actually having nice emotion. There is nice emotion coming from these moments. And then you got cheap, not funny, trying really hard to be funny jokes that are just thrown in there. That's the same thing that happened in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Yondu's death is freaking awesome. It's one of the best emotional moments in the MCU, but that's at the very end of the movie. The rest of the movie is not good. It's not. That movie is not good. The only movie to do this successfully is the first Guardians of the Galaxy because it was the first one. It was the first one to do it. So therefore, you gotta innovate. You gotta be creative. You can't do the same thing over and over and over again. And I hate to say it, but writing-wise at least, that's what James Gunn did. The only thing that's different is that there is a crap ton more curse words and it is a billion times more bloody and gory. And the only reason why that is a thing is because it's rated R and not rated PG-13. That's the only thing that's different. And even then, it's still the same movie. It's just bloodier and gorier, and there's more curse words. That's all there is. Look, you can throw me out. You can say I'm talking crazy. You can say I'm the worst, but hey, that's just my opinion. I don't think the writing here is good. I don't think it's substantial enough. The story is very tropey, very, very tropey, and not in a good way. It covers all those tropes, and I just didn't dig that writing. That's really it. Now let's talk about some of the goods. Obviously, I like the film. I gave it an 86 out of 100 in my review. Guys, an 86 out of 100 is not a bad rating. That is a B rating. It's not a bad rating. So people are coming to me saying I'm like, oh, I'm over-exaggerating. I think it's terrible. I don't think it's terrible. I'm hypercritical of the things that I don't like because everyone is hyping it up so much. So I look like a Debbie Downer because I'm not one of the people that is saying it's a masterpiece. That's the thing. But like I said, some of the humor works. It does. I won't lie. There are bits that I love. There are things that made me legitimately laugh out loud. There's no doubting that. There's no doubting that. I like the emotion with Ratcatcher too. I think she is the most complex character in this film. Never in my mind did I ever think that Ratcatcher 2 would be the character I'm most invested in this film. Never in my mind. And I like that. I like that was a surprise. I like that she was the main part. We saw it in the reviews that she was going to be one of the standouts. But I was like, how though? Like, how much can they really do with her? And then I ended up really liking her. And by the way, did anyone else notice? And I'm sure everyone has, but did anyone else notice that Taika Waititi was her dad? I didn't notice that until the very end when he's talking to her at the end, like when the emotional moment happens when they're fighting Starro or whatever the heck his name is. I didn't realize it until then that was Taika. I was like, what? That's cool. I like that James Gunn was bringing us some MCU people, and I didn't know, I didn't catch this at all, but I didn't know that Mantis was in the scene in the bar with those ladies dancing up on the stage. I didn't know that she was up there either. I didn't know that. I had to read an article about that, so that threw me for a loop. But Ratcatcher 2 is great. One, I think her performance is one of the best in the movie. It actually shows true emotion. Two, the writing for her is the most solid. We don't like her at the beginning because she's some lazy, like as Peacemaker says, millennial that is lazy, wants to sleep all the time, but like same. But in the end, she has the most emotion and she shows the most really compassion of any of them. The Suicide Squad members are all people that could give a damn about it. And Ratcatcher 2 is the one that's like, yo, I want to do the right thing. And I like that. I like that there's actually some humanity there. And I like that's a very nice dynamic. Before I go any further, I want to ask you all, both in my chat and on the podcast, I want you all to let me know wherever you can. Who is your favorite character? Who is your favorite character in the Suicide Squad? And it can be anyone. And we'll talk about them. We'll discuss them. Mine was by far Ratcatcher 2. One, because it was a great performance, but two, because she was the best written as well. Had the most humanity, had the most dynamics. Yes. But let me know. Let me know who your favorite character from this was. I'll talk about a few that I liked. I'll talk about some that I didn't like, and I will kind of go in depth as to why. But let's get into that first. Let's talk about the characters. Bloodsport, I think Idris Elba gives a good performance. I don't think that he is the best written. The thing I don't like about his writing is the potential was there. The potential was there for it to be, for his character to have the best and most emotionally written arc by far. The best, most emotionally written arc with the daughter and how they set that up. But this is where he goes wrong. This is where James Gunn goes wrong. And this is a perfect example of where James Gunn went wrong in the writing. You bring in his daughter. You think, oh, it's going to be a big emotional moment. You see it in the trailer. They set it up as it's this big emotional moment. He loves his daughter. Like, this is a big deal. But then they are just throwing out the F-bomb at each other for 30 seconds back and forth, it completely ruins any emotion that was there. Any emotion that was there. Then the conversation that happens after that, for me, is meaningless. It's meaningless. Like legitimately. And that is a key example of where the writing kills itself in this movie. Key example. The emotion was there. We were setting up a very emotional moment, and then you kill it with a joke or a funny bit. And that's what James Gunn did throughout this movie. Throughout. But in the end, I thought Idris Elba was great as the character. I think the suit is awesome. I think the gadgets that he's got all over the suit are badass. It's cool. It's cool. But in the end, I was not connected to him. I did not care. I did not care about his daughter and her jail sentence. She stole a watch. That's on her. She's going to jail. So I was not drawn to him. I was drawn to him because I love Idris Elba and his performance, but I was not drawn to him in the writing, in the emotion. I could care less. That's the big problem I have with Bloodsport. Peacemaker. Don't even get me started with Peacemaker. John Cena gives a good performance. He's fine. Hated the twist. I hated the twist. Now, if you've seen like Arrow, one of my favorite TV shows, if you've read the comics, you know Amanda Waller is a grade A biatch. She just is. She is constantly blackmailing people. She is constantly getting people to do her dirty work. That's all she does. So when the twist comes around that Peacemaker is actually there to make sure that the records are clean, not that like Starro is destroyed or whatever, like I didn't like that. And I didn't like that he's just a grade A douche. I liked it to a point. And like I said, there are parts in this film where it's funny and it works. But when that turn happens and he turns into the villain, and especially when he's about to kill Ratcatcher 2 and he's like, yo, I like to be thorough. She's like, just break the drive. No one's going to believe an inmate in a prison without evidence. Just break the drive. Why you got to go a step further? So look, I'm interested in the Peacemaker series that's coming out on HBO Max. I think it'll be fine. But like, I didn't love his character. Now, John Cena gives a great performance. Takes that character to a T and really, really does it with that character. But I didn't like the twist they took. I just didn't dig it. I didn't like it. So I'm really only going to talk about the core ones because, spoiler alert, and remember, this is a spoiler review, so there's no holds bar. I can say whatever the heck I want. Spoiler alert, they kill pretty much everyone in the first opening scene of the movie. They kill everyone except for like 6 of them in the opening scene of the movie. Now, I love that they did that because James Gunn said, do not get attached to anyone. My God, did he mean it? Because he killed off a bunch of people that were like headlines in the trailers. Weasel's drowns to death in the first 15 minutes. Now, post-credit scene, he's fine. But I mean, I like that they did that. But the problem comes, and again, this is back to the writing. The writing is my biggest pet peeve with this film because it is poorly written. This is a poorly written film. You know, James Gunn preached, don't get too attached. Don't get too attached. Blah, 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 blah. And I can get that for like some of the smaller characters, but you got to have an emotional backbone of the film. And if you don't have that, there's nothing to be invested in. That's the whole thing I'm going to continue to harken back on. If you don't have an emotional backbone of a film, there is nothing to be invested in. So I get what he was going for. I like it. I like the decision that was made. I thought it was great. Got a kick out of it. I was like, they are doing this. They're all going to die. This is funny. But without emotional backbone for the rest of them, it's not an intriguing film at all. Okay, back to the characters. Harley Quinn. I'm gonna get on Harley Quinn quick because I've praised Margot Robbie's performances as Harley Quinn. She is the same here. She is fantastic. I love what she does. She's not as much utilized as I think I would have liked her to be, because she's one of the stars of the DCEU right now. Y'all can deny it, y'all can say not, but I tend to agree. Birds of Prey, if you saw my ranking that came out a few days ago, is my favorite DCEU film, one of my favorite films of last year. So she's great. There's no doubt. So I'm just gonna, she didn't really have much to do, which is again the thing that I don't really like. I wanted her to have like a plot in some things, but I digress. She was awesome and she was great. We already touched on Ratcatcher 2, by far my favorite part of the movie. Let me hit on Polka Dot Man. Right? Polka Dot Man. I liked, this is another example of where the jokes kill the emotion. Polka Dot Man has a tragic story of where he came from, how he began. Like, tragic story. But then when it's his time to shine, what do we see? It's your mom. And then Starro is a big one of his moms. Like, I get it. You're like, when you want to kill people, you think of your mom because she's the one that did it to you. But like, that shtick got old very, very fast. Very fast. And I think Polka Dot Man had one of the more tragic stories in this film. But constantly going back to that shtick killed it for me. People say that Polka Dot Man is their favorite character in this film, and I can see why. And I'm trying to find the word. I see the potential. As to why people love this character. I get it. I see it. But it didn't fully come to fruition for me because of that shtick that they kept going back to that didn't work. It killed the emotion. Again, what's the theme here, guys? They're killing the emotion. That's what's happening here. So that's Polka Dot Man, I think, is probably the most disappointing character of this movie for me, because the potential for a very heartbreaking and sad, but then triumphant arc was ruined by a comedy bit that they did too many times. Ruined for me. Right. Rick Flag. And I see one of the comment from our chat members, which we'll get to later in the section when we talk to the chat. And I completely agree with what he says. Very incomplete character arc. I think the potential for Rick Flag to be a new leader, to be a better man, to come out on top was great. Was something that I was looking forward to. Now the shock value is there that he died, that Peacemaker killed him. The shock value is definitely there. So I will give James Gunn that. But he is one of the few characters that you actually kind of felt for, because he seems like an actually good guy. The rest of them are dicks. I hate to say it. The rest of the characters are dicks. Rick Flag is the only one that kind of seems like a straight-headed, forward-thinking guy. And for them to kill him off at his time to shine, like our commenter says, was bad. Now, he was a great character in the movie, but I think that his arc was very mismanaged and it ended too short. I think personally, I would have liked to see Rick Flag, come out on top. So that one kind of stung for me. And then King Shark. Oh, King Shark. Do. This one's going to get me a lot of haters because I know. I hated King Shark in this movie. Walking comic relief. That's what King Shark was. He's literally Drax. Literally, large man with no shirt on that is there for comic relief. Literally, Drax. I get it. The hand. That's fun. Yeah, funny. Yeah. Kind of funny. He ate a few people. He's there for the gore value, I guess. Besides that, why is he really there? You know, he makes friends with Ratcatcher 2. That's a cool moment, but I credit a lot of that to Ratcatcher 2. Honestly. So it all goes back to the writing, how miswritten this film is, how similar it is to the others. And another comment from a commenter is, and I completely agree. Gunn, I think, went a little too far with the freedom of control that he had with this movie. Now, I give Warner Brothers credit for giving him pretty much full control. I give Warner Brothers 100% credit. They've done that now twice with Zack Snyder in the Snyder Cut to give him the control to do what he wanted, and with James Gunn for the Suicide Squad. I give them credit for that. And I give James Gunn credit for swinging for the fences and taking another shot at a comic book movie. The only problem is, instead of doing something creative and unique and new, he just made another version of two of the movies he's already made, but he made it bloody and gory, and he made it full of curse words because it's an R-rated movie as opposed to PG-13. So really, what did he do differently? What did he do differently? That's the issue I have with this movie. What did he do differently than he's done with any of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies? Legitimately. Where did he innovate? Where did he improve? Did he improve from the things that he did wrong in the second Guardians of the Galaxy? Personally, I don't think so. I think he literally fell back down the rabbit hole of the things that he did wrong in the second Guardians. Literally. My biggest issue with the second Guardians movie is ruining emotion with too many jokes. What's my biggest issue with the Suicide Squad? Ruining the emotion with too many jokes. That's literally my biggest thing. That is my biggest issue with this movie. In the end, it's a very fun time. I think the action is fantastic. I think it's very awesomely choreographed, especially Margot Robbie's escape is incredibly choreographed. I think it is funny a lot of the time, but it's very mismanaged in terms of writing. Ratcatcher 2 is brilliant. One of the best characters in this. Well, no, she's not one of. She's the best character in this entire movie. And that emotion works, and I like that. There are things I like about the film. It's not a bad film. Not a bad film. I gave it an 86 out of 100. But the reason why I am coming off so harsh is because everyone is calling it a perfect film. They're calling it a masterpiece. And I have to be the one to come in and say, yo, it's not. It's not. I'm sorry. It's not. And the other thing I will say is those like chapter things or whatever that they did, I found those tacky. Felt like they broke up the story, which is what they were supposed to do, but I didn't like that. That was jarring. I'm like, let's just continue the story. So, like, I get it, but I didn't like those. I found them tacky. I found them just too much. I didn't like them. The Jotunheim one's cool, the way that they did it with, but like I just didn't like them. I didn't like them. I found them tacky. So that is what I will say. That is my review, my spoiler review of the Suicide Squad. Now we are going to get into the questions and comments from the chat. So if you are just getting in here and I'm talking strictly to the chat, what we are doing right now is we are going to take your questions, comments, and thoughts on the Suicide Squad specifically. So if you have questions, concerns, or comments about the Suicide Squad, put them in the chat. We will read them. We're talking about the Suicide Squad. So, and also if you are listening in podcast form, if you want to be featured on the show in this section, I'm live every Wednesday night talking about a new movie. So get on in here and let's have a good time. But let's do this thing. All right, here we go. Alex Lopez asks, what was the best performance in the entire movie? It was Ratcatcher 2. Let me pull up my letterbox so that I can get her name because she deserves all the credit in the world. Let me pull this bad boy up. The Suicide Squad. Daniela Melchior? I don't know. She gives the best performance in this movie. I think she gives the best emotion. I think she's written the best. Some honorable mentions. I genuinely do think John Cena gives a good performance here. I just think that his writing is not good. And I think Idris Elba gives a great performance as well. And Margot Robbie's always is fantastic. Movies and Train Studio says King Shark is the GOAT. Hand. I'm sorry. I hate to break your heart. I hated King Shark. All right. Ricardo says, personal opinion, this movie it was very much for American audiences. And as a Latin American, they were not my style. Very disappointed by the movie. 3 out of 10 for me. Do you see what I mean? 100%. I think it's for a very specific audience. I think a very specific type of people are going to love it. But I do not think it's for everyone. And I think there are a lot of issues. That's kind of what I was talking about in my review portion of this was it's definitely not for everyone. It's definitely for the people that love the gore, the cuss words, and all of that. And it is kind of hearkened to Americans, I hate to say. I think the best part of the movie is when the squad tries to escape Harley, but Harley escapes herself. That was a funny moment. I did laugh at that moment, but let's go back like 10 minutes and talk about the actual escape. That's the best part of this movie, in my opinion. In terms of fight choreography, in terms of just visuals, in terms of how it's shot, in terms of direction, in terms of like that's brilliantly done. James Gunn does know how to direct action. He does. Like he's not a bad director. He knows how to direct action. And it's done very well here. The cinematography in this scene, in this sequence is amazing. Margot Robbie is fantastic. I like the scene where she's on the chains and she did that herself. Like that's crazy. So that's one of, if not my favorite part of the entire movie, besides the who can get the better kill between Bloodsport and Peacemaker, which is another hilarious part of the movie that I loved. That's by far probably my favorite is a Harley Quinn's escape. Absolutely fantastic. The actress who plays Ratcatcher would probably find a lot of work as an actress in the near future. Yes, I think so, because she was absolutely fantastic. Yes, Taika is great. He is. And it's just he's great in anything that he does. And he is really a talent because he writes and directs and acts, and he does it very well. All of it. It's incredible. I knew it was Taika. John Elite says, I knew it was Taika Waititi when Ratcatcher told her story in the bus. Yeah, I mean, I guess I just wasn't looking enough. I didn't have as sharp of an eye. I just couldn't tell. But yeah. So we're going to catch him on some of the favorite performance or favorite characters. Alex says Ratcatcher 2 and Polka Dot Man. Ricardo says Rick Flag was my favorite. Yes, I just think that he was killed off too soon. John Elite says Peacemaker and Bloodsport. My mom is in here. What's up? Everyone say what's up to my mom. Best. Movies and Train Studio says Peacemaker, Bloodsport, Harley Quinn, and King Shark. You basically just name the entire squad, but it is kind of hard to choose because they all do give great performances except for King Shark. He is Baruto. John says, I didn't know King Shark was voiced by Stallone till the end credits. I did know that he was voiced by Stallone. I think Stallone did good. Thought it was funny that it was Stallone. I just don't like the character. I just didn't like the character. I just didn't. They kind of screwed Bloodsport in trying to make him Deadshot. Kind of, but not really. I think they have different shticks. I think Deadshot's just like a really, accurate kind of assassin with like, he's got other abilities as well. But like Bloodsport's like got all the tech and stuff that turns into others, like morphing. So like that's really cool. And if I'm wrong, because I haven't read the comics, I don't care to read the comics. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Honestly, if Deadshot returned in the movie, I think it would have been great for to have him and Bloodsport have a rivalry. Yes, and Will Smith, I think they would have worked great together. But, and I will mention this as well because I didn't in my review, I liked the rivalry between Bloodsport and Peacemaker. Like I said, one of my favorite parts is the in the camp when they're like, who can get the best kill? That is one of my favorite parts of the film. I think it's hilarious. So there we go. Was Cena's performance in this better than F9? 100%. 100%. Because it was actually good. His performance in F9 is not really that good. He's very robotic in that film. So it's just how it is. Alex Lopez says, apparently a lot of people felt left down from this film, or let down. You probably meant to say let down. Yeah, and I'm one of them. Like, look, I know I've been like saying, I've been bashing it, but I am disappointed. I'm legitimately disappointed. I walked into this film wanting it to be one of my favorites of the year, wanted it to be in my top 5. I wanted to give it a 5 out of 5. I wanted it to be one of the best comic book movies I've ever seen, because some of my critic friends had seen the movie twice before I got to see it. And they were like, this is a masterpiece. This is like the best thing I've ever seen. This is James Gunn's best work. So I'm like, oh my God. Okay. Obviously, I'm going to go in with my own expectations, but like, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little excited to see what was going on. And I left with a very sour taste in my mouth. Like, that was not that good. Just wasn't that good. I was unfortunately very left down. It's going to be one of my biggest disappointments of the year. It just wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. John says, Margot was flexible in her escape scene. I'm telling you, like, all the acrobatics she did to like get up and like flip and like she's just one of a kind. She's absolutely incredible. She's one of the best working actresses in Hollywood today. Just so good. Movies and Train Studio says, my man Rick Flag, and this is the one I was talking about earlier. My man Rick Flag kind of felt like he had an incomplete arc. He dies at his time to shine, but he's still a great character in the movie. Like I said, I 100% agree. Like he's underutilized. I think he's got some of the best emotion, very underutilized. I think it could have been a lot better. And I think he's one of the most likable characters in this movie that people actually kind of might have wanted to have in future things, because Gunn's going to come back. He's already talked about coming back to do more DC stuff. He's already talked about that. So why are you going to kill off one of the most fan-friendly, I would say, people, just for one movie? Like, I get it, but like, I don't know. I'm very frustrated with the writing of this film, as I've said before, and I've said again. I feel like Gunn went. Here's the other one that we talked about earlier. I feel like Gunn went a little too far with freedom control with this movie. 100%. He made Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 on steroids. That's what he did. He made Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 on steroids. It was everything that he wanted to do with Guardians that he finally got to do. Bloody, gory, bunch of cuss words, all the jokes, everything. Like, I am all for creative freedom. Obviously, like, I love the Snyder Cut and I like the Suicide Squad. And I always think it's bad when studios come in and highly interfere with an artist's work and what they want to accomplish. Like, I don't like that. I think that that's sour. I think that that's bad. But there's a very fine line here where you kind of need to, you can't go too far into what you want to do if it's going to hinder the film. And I tend to believe, not just here, but also in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, the Gunnisms, as I'll call them, they hindered the film. They really did. And I don't think he is the best writer. I don't. I think Guardians is a great film, but I think the original Guardians of the Galaxy is a great film, but I think that it's also lightning in a bottle, kick-ass soundtrack, great performances. I don't want to 100% say that is all James Gunn. I think there's a lot that went into that helped it be as popular as it was. Now, is it a great movie? It's great. It's one of my top 10 MCU, and it is in my top 100 of all time. But I hate to break it to you, the other two that he's done recently, Guardians Volume 2 and the Suicide Squad, are just not great. And I think that's because Gunn had too much control. And he did too much with it. That's my opinion. Movies and Train Studio. Nom Nom, Jack. No Nom Nom. Nope. No Nom. It didn't work. Did not work. Cinema Critic Review, I see your comment. Thank you for commenting, my man. Alex says, the Suicide Squad is not a masterpiece, but it's enjoyable. Richard Donner's Superman, Batman 89, The Dark Knight are way better. The Dark Knight is incredible. 5 out of 5 stars. It's just great. But I tend to 100% agree with you where you say it's not a masterpiece, but it's enjoyable. See, that's the thing. It doesn't, just because everyone else is saying it's a masterpiece doesn't mean it has to be like for me. I can get a lot of enjoyment out of it. I can really enjoy it, think it's great. But I don't have to say it's a masterpiece because it's not. And just because I say it doesn't mean I'm wrong. It's my opinion. My opinion. John says the chemistry between Bloodsport and Peacemaker was hilarious in my opinion. Yes, I wholeheartedly agree. I think that's one of the best parts of the film is their little rivalry. Like I said, one of my favorite moments again is in the camp when they are going after, who can get the better kill, the more crazy kill. That's one of my favorite bits in the entire movie. I just don't think the characters individually were written that great. Personally, I just don't. Ricardo says, I meant trying to not make Bloodsport Deadshot. I'd have to go look at the comments. But I think I understand what you're saying, but I got you. I got you. Alex, what's up, Jack? Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Hope you're having a good day. He says, I really enjoyed the Suicide Squad. The movie is absurd, but it has heart. It does have heart a bit. And Alex, if you're just coming in here, I don't love the film. I've been highly critical of it. I do not think the writing is good at all. I think it's very poorly written. And one of the problems I have with it is the emotion. That's one of the biggest problems. I think Ratcatcher 2 has the best emotion in the entire film. I think she is written fantastic. But I think that's kind of where it stops for me. But I do respect the fact that you enjoyed it, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. And I hope you're having a great day. Thank you for coming in here. Ricardo says, when I said they screwed up Bloodsport in trying to not make him Bloodsport in relation, I got you. Okay. I know what you're saying. They screwed up Bloodsport by not trying to make him Deadshot in the relationship with his daughter. Yes, but the way they handled, and they did. That's one of my biggest issues. There's no emotion there with Bloodsport because Gunn does what he does, the way he goes about it. But in the end, it just doesn't work with me. It doesn't work. So I get what they're trying to go for, but it's the case. It's a Gunnism. Like I said, it's a Gunnism. You build up the emotion, and then you ruin it with a joke or a comedic bit. You ruin it with a joke or a comedic bit. That's what you do. We're going to hit Alex, then we're going to end this section of the podcast. People need to understand that a masterpiece equals one of the best movies in modern memory, and a lot of people must be talking about this movie a lot, and it has to be a perfect movie. I think that's a bit subjective, but I understand what you're saying. Like the movie Parasite has a lot of praise, a lot of buzz and awards, and wonderfully crafted. Yes. But I do think that the word masterpiece is also highly, highly subjective. I do understand what you're saying, but I don't think that it's very, very rare instances. And I'll pull this back up so that people can see it. There's very rare instances when there is a universally agreed on movie that's a masterpiece. I think the word masterpiece is thrown out too much. I think that's an issue kind of with film Twitter and all of that. And look, I'm guilty of that too. I've thrown out the word masterpiece twice in the last 2 weeks. But I think it's very hard for everyone to agree that a movie is a masterpiece. Parasite is an exception. But I think the thing with Suicide Squad is that a lot of people think it is, but there is that minority that don't. So that's the problem I have with it personally, but that's just me. All right, and that's it for episode number 1 of Fanatic Films Presents Movie Review Wednesday. If you're listening to this in audio form, go leave a review down below. Follow me on Twitter. Go check it all out. And come into the stream next week if you want to be featured on the show. But that's pretty much it. Thank you all so much for watching or listening, and we'll see you in the next video. All right. Podcast time is over. We can talk about whatever. How y'all doing? Alex says, I'm sitting at work, power outage, but I'm having a good day. Thanks for asking. Hey, of course, man. Hey, I just got home from work. I respect the grind, man. You keep doing you. You want to be on one of these streams coming up. Every Wednesday, I am reviewing a movie that came out the week before. So if you're interested, let me know. Let's do it. I love the film, but it's not the best DCU and it's not a masterpiece. We agree there, my friend. We agree. It literally won Best Picture, both Cannes and the Oscar. You're talking about Parasite, yes, and it's like Mad Max Fury Road. Yeah. I think some people don't love Mad Max Fury Road. I like it. I give it 5 stars. I think it's a really good movie. I wouldn't necessarily call it a masterpiece, but I think it's a very good movie. But it's not. That movie is not for everyone. Not for everyone. By the way, we're still here. Like I ended the podcast form of it. So like I'm gonna turn that into a podcast. That's gonna be up on a podcast. But don't leave. Like we're still here. We're gonna chill for a little bit longer. Movies trains. I'm gonna head out, man. Have a good rest of your week. You've probably already headed out, but if you've not, thank you. You have a great rest of your week as well. And you're awesome. Thank you for coming in. Oh, I'm tired. I'm tired. If y'all are done, I'll leave. I'll go to bed. Alex is still here. Yeah, you're the real one, man. You're still here. Alex still here. Woo woo. John says, Jack, if we get a No Way Home trailer, should they show Toby and Andrew, tease them, or save them for the movie? Okay. I have sources that have told me things. I'm not going to tell you what the sources have told me. I'm not going to tell you what they haven't told me. If Toby and Andrew are in the movie, we don't even know if they're in the movie. If they're in the movie, I don't want them in the trailer. I don't want a tease. I don't want anything. That is a reveal that deserves to be held until the movie. I want that jump out of the seat moment. Cap wielding Mjolnir in Endgame, that is a jump out of your seat moment that nobody saw coming because it wasn't teased. I love that they haven't put out a trailer yet. And I think that they're holding back because of everything that's going on in the world. That's my theory. But we will get one eventually. But if they show too much, I'm going to be pissed. That's all I'm going to say. So no, I don't want them to do anything. Save it for the movie. Save that crap for the movie. Q&A time. I'll stay. Hey, what's good, man? I would love to collab. All right, let's make it happen. Any movie that's coming out within the next, any movie that's coming out, you want to sit down and talk about it, let me know. We'll make it happen. We'll find a Wednesday to do it. Ricardo, I'm very excited about Coda. Yes, I'm so happy someone brought up Coda. Heard very good things, and it stars favorite actor of all time. That movie's freaking awesome. By the way, if y'all haven't seen my review, which none of y'all did, if you haven't seen my review, it went out yesterday for Coda. I got to see it at Sundance. My mom and dad and I all watched it. It's incredible. It's an incredible movie. It's incredible. It's the crowd pleaser of the year. You're gonna laugh. You're gonna cry. It's brilliant. So be excited because it lives up to the hype. And I'm so happy. All the people that didn't see it at Sundance, like the critics that have now started to see it, all the things I've seen, are like, positive. So I'm so happy about it. Tobey and Andrew in the movie, they should be at the tail end of the trailer. I personally don't agree. I think you save it for the movie. That's a moment that you save. I don't think you give that up because that is such a shocking moment. Why ruin it in a trailer? That's just my opinion. Damn, I'm not available on Wednesday. Hey, you pick a day. We'll do a special edition so we can get you on. So you let me know. What's your favorite pizza topping? Pepperoni. Pepperoni pizza is like all I eat pizza wise. Just pepperoni, straight up. And I'll put hot sauce. That's it. If you get a chance, check out my YouTube channel. Go check out Alex. Go subscribe to him. I check out your channel, man. Your channel's freaking dope. Like, it's awesome. I love your collection too. Like, I watch all your collection videos and stuff. It's freaking awesome. If y'all get the chance, go check him out. He's awesome. So go watch his stuff. Alex, I have checked out your channel. I watch your videos all the time. So this weekend, I'm going to see Free Guy, Don't Breathe 2, Beckett, Netflix movie starring John David Washington, and Respect, the Aretha Franklin. Going to see those 4 movies this weekend. So one of those will be next week's. So let me know. You let me know which one you want me to do out of those 4. Probably Free. We'll probably talk about Free Guy. Will Dune be considered a masterpiece after seeing the first 10 minutes? Funny you mentioned that. Funny you mentioned that. Funny you mentioned that. Let me find it because I know I've gotten I've gotten something. I know someone's liked or retweeted this. This tweet's popping off and it's just crazy. Sorry, give me a sec. Here it is. All right. This tweet is popping the F off. So I got to go to the first I went to the first 10-minute kind of thing where we got to see the first 10 minutes of Dune in the trailer early. And this was my tweet. Words cannot even begin to describe what I just watched. It's not even a film. It's a piece of art. We only saw the first 10 minutes, but when you know, you know. I don't throw this word out often, but for this, it works. Masterpiece. 1,600 likes. It got retweeted by Dune's official account. And that's me plugging stuff. And then Dune used this tweet and put it on their official Instagram story. Go follow me on Twitter if you haven't also. Go follow me on Twitter because that's where I'm going to put a poll out each week for what video we're going to review. So go follow me on Twitter. I don't know why I need those headphones. I'm not listening to anything. Go follow me on Twitter because the polls will be out for each week and they'll be on my Twitter. Always got to find a way to do share screen. So yes, I think Dune's going to be a masterpiece. It just from what I saw, it's freaking brilliant. And you know what? I saw a thing today that said that Chloe Zhao said that she's already seen it and that it's incredible. I trust Chloe Zhao with my life. I trust Chloe Zhao with my life. If she says it's incredible, it's going to be freaking incredible. Alex says, thank you. I'm hearing Free Guy is dope. I am too. I'm very excited to see. I'm seeing that tomorrow night. I'm going to see that and Don't Breathe 2 tomorrow night. So I'm very excited about that. Free Guy for sure. Yeah, I think we're probably going to be talking about Free Guy next week. Probably. Now about Just an Idea on Wednesday, review 9 days, and whenever Alex is for you guys can do Free Guy. Yeah, I mean, if Alex is available next week, we can definitely do Free Guy another day. But I wouldn't do 9 days. I would do another film that came out last week. Go check out my 90s review, though. Wasn't excited for the Suicide Squad. Loved it. Got the feeling the same thing's going to happen with Free Guy. Yeah, I mean, I was excited for the Suicide Squad, and I didn't end up liking it as much. So I'm trying to peter my expectations for any other movies I see. So. The latest Dune trailer brought my excitement down as it shows a bit too much comedy from Momoa and others that might not be suited for what I thought it would be. I think that's fine because films are allowed to have a few comedic moments. Like I didn't think that was so blatant that it was bad. You know what I mean? Now, like with Gunn and the Suicide Squad, it's like every other minute it is comedy. Now, like, again, with like the first 10 minutes that we saw, and we saw another scene as well. Like, we didn't just get to see the first minute. We saw a whole nother scene as well in this thing. It was very serious. It's going to be a serious movie. So I don't think it's going to be like full of comedy. I think but like, you know, there's always like lighthearted moments and stuff because there are people, you know, the people interacting the way that they do. Saw the first 10 minutes as well, and it's like the director's dream movie. And it's a space opera like A New Hope or 2001 Space Odyssey. Yes. And I'm so excited. It's Denis Villeneuve, guys. Like, he's one of the best working directors today. I'm so excited. I don't want to see anything for Dune. I'm going in completely blind. Do it. Don't. Don't. I think you're going to love it. I think it's going to be awesome. Yo, Jack, it's a dope haircut. I appreciate it. It's caked up with a bunch of gel, and it's got a bunch of hairspray. This is my work haircut. I didn't wear this hat today. I threw it on for this. This is my work haircut. I appreciate that, though. Dune Rotten Tomatoes may be late 20s. It's going to be high 20s. Yeah, I completely agree. I think it's going to be high 20s. I think it's going to be great. Everything I've heard from everyone is that it's going to be great. Now, I don't think any critics have seen it. It premieres at TIFF, which is in a few months, but I'm very excited for it. The Chad Sport, get off my screen. LOL. Go subscribe to Chat Sports. We're doing our first, if you guys are into the NFL, we got watch parties all this weekend for the preseason. I will personally be producing, we're doing a simulcast live stream for the 49ers. And, oh, no, it happened again. We're having too much fun. We're having too much damn fun. Bring it back. Bring it back. We're having too much fun. So as I was saying, the one that I'm going to be doing is we're going to simulcast on 2 channels, the 49ers and Chiefs game. You're not actually going to be able to see the game because that's copyright, but we will be doing a watch party for it. So if you guys are Chiefs fans or 49er fans, come hang out and say what's up. We'll also be doing watch parties for the other big games as well. The Bears game, we're doing one for the Raiders against Seahawks. There's one other as well that I'm forgetting, but we are doing watch parties all Saturday. I'm off Friday and Sunday, so I'm working on Saturday. So it's going to be fun. Go subscribe to Chat Sports. Most anticipated film for the rest of the year besides Dune. Well, Dune's not even my most anticipated. It's my number 2. Spider-Man No Way Home is by far my most anticipated of the year. By far. But I'll list off. I on my Instagram, which you all should go check out my film Instagram. I have 2 Instagrams. I have my personal, and then I have my actual film one where I do my reviews and stuff. I'll show it right here. It's Jack Lautaret Reviews on Instagram. Jack Lautaret Reviews. That's pretty much where I just do my reviews. But I did post my top 10 most anticipated for the rest of the year. Well, it's my top 9 now because the Suicide Squad was at number 9. But I'll say my number 9 now is The Last Duel, the Ridley Scott film with Adam Driver and Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. Very excited for that. Number 8 is The Harder They Fall. The Harder They Fall. 7 is The French Dispatch. I love Wes Anderson. 6 is Tick, Tick, Boom, the Lin-Manuel Miranda directed one with Andrew Garfield. I'm very, very excited for that one. 5 is Don't Look Up, the Adam McKay movie with Jennifer Lawrence, Leo, and all the other huge cast of characters. 4 is No Time to Die. Hopefully it comes out. I'm very excited for No Time to Die. 3 is The Eternals. That one jumped up after seeing the first trailer. And of course, it's Chloe Zhao. 2 is Dune, and 1 is Spider-Man No Way Home. So that's my top 9. My top 9. I'm available Thursday, but what time are you on? I'm Eastern. I'm Central, so I'm only 1 hour behind you. So maybe next Thursday, if you want to hop on, let's do it. Let me know, man. Let me know. Obviously, for my work schedule too, we got to link up. We'll figure it out. Dune's for sure going to be a lot of people's top 10 movies of the year. It's going to be freaking awesome. It deserves the hype because I think it's going to be that good. I legitimately. Does Chat Sports ever cover soccer like the MLS or Gold Cup, World Cup qualifiers? No, we do the NFL and NBA. I've been pushing to do baseball stuff. We're still expanding, so potentially in the future. I don't want to promise anything because I don't even know. I'm just a producer, so I don't really know. But yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if this actually happened, but Reagan was telling me about a stream that he had that was a watch party and got copyrighted for having a little bit of audio come off his TV. Seems like YouTube is starting to pick up small makers because Reagan got banned for streaming. And then other people do this sort of thing and they don't get banned or even have their stream taken down. I don't know how accurate that is. One, like with chat sports, we don't have the audio. Like we have our talent talking. So we're like the TV audio is not going to come off and we're not going to get like banned or anything. It doesn't happen. I'd have to talk to Reagan about that. I don't know what that is. I don't know. Copyright stuff happens. I mean, like that is a real thing. Like even TV audio or something like background audio, you can get copyrighted for that. Legit, like that's a legit thing. So, and I don't. That's not even small. Like it's anyone. Like copyright things happen with chat sports. Like we have to be very careful. Like we can't like because that's how we make our money is like is monetization and sponsors and things like that. Like we have to be very careful what we put on our thing. We can't get copyrighted. I mean, that's a thing. Everyone gets copyrighted. That's YouTube. It's kind of the world we live in now. I remember back in the day. God, I sound like an old man. When I started, you could put anything on YouTube, and it wouldn't get copyrighted. Back in my day, 7 years ago, you could put anything you could on your videos, and you wouldn't get copyrighted. I plan on doing a watch party / movie night on my YouTube channel, but I'm going to make sure that there's no audio being played. Yeah, I mean, you just got it. You sync up. Like I think Chris and Cam do this, and Soups does this well. You sync up the time. You make sure people are in the same spot, and you watch together so that the people at home can listen to the TV. So you don't have to provide the audio, because if you provide the audio, you're going to get copyrighted and it's going to get taken down. Oh, I'm tired. Well, I'm going to give you all 5 minutes. I'm going to give you all 5 minutes. I'm going to give you all 5 minutes, put in comments, and I'm going. Because I'm going to go to bed. I got to take a shower. And we'll go. I understand copyright rules. Reagan showed me what happened, and he couldn't settle the copyright. And it wasn't a copyright strike, but he literally was banned from streaming. I've never heard of that. That's weird. I mean, it's tough. I mean, I know I did a stream with Sasha, and I showed a part from one of the chat sports live streams, and they got a copyright notice, and I almost got in trouble through YouTube, not at work, but like through YouTube, I almost got in trouble for using just like 10 seconds of their audio. So, I mean, my biggest advice to Reagan, one, look into it, because I don't think that should be something that's dispute. You can dispute that. I think that's something that should be disputable. And then two, just be careful. Like you just can't have the audio. That's a thing that you just can't have the audio. You got to get that stuff out of there. Unfortunately, it sucks. It sucks. Like I said, back in my day, you could put anything on there, but I also do get it though, because it's like, you can't just take people's music and use it for your monetary gain and they don't get anything for it because it's theirs. It's what they own. So I get it, but you just gotta be really careful. You gotta be very, very careful. Like my videos now get copyrighted. I would not be able to monetize my videos now because my intro music is copyrighted. So when it ever eventually in like maybe 10 years now at this rate, when I get monetized, I will have to change my audio for my videos. If you can't hit me up on IG, we can figure it out. I will hit you up on IG. We'll figure it out. My man. All right. I think that's it. I think I'm going to bed. I'm tired. Unless y'all have any more pressing things. Are we going to talk about Free Guy next week? Is that what we're talking about? We talking about Free Guy? Are you checking out Marvel's What If? I am. So I'm the worst. I got the first 3 episodes for screeners. I got the first 3 episodes and I didn't see the expiration date. So like there's expiration dates. Like you can only watch them up into a certain point and then they expire. So I was going to check them out last night or the night before, but I was going to check them out Monday night and they expired on Sunday night. So really bad timing. So I didn't get to see them. So I'm going to check them out. I'm not going to do anything on them. They're canon, so that's significant. But I don't have the time to do that personally. So we'll be back for Hawkeye. I'll be doing stuff for Hawkeye, which will be cool. But yeah, I am going to check it out because I've heard it's cool. And I'm excited about it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I am excited about it. I want to check it out. It's more MCU content. See ya, dude. See ya. Free guy. Probably Candyman after that. I ain't talking about Candyman because I'm not going to see it. You must have missed out at the beginning. I refuse to watch that movie. It's too freaking creepy. I don't like stuff like that. I'm not watching Candyman. We'll find another one for that week. There's plenty of movies coming out in the next few weeks that we can talk about. But no Candyman. I'm not doing it. All right, guys, that's it. I'm getting out of here. This was fun. I appreciate y'all coming and checking out and hanging out. This was a lot of fun. Go follow me on Twitter. That's where the poll's going to be for what we talk about next week. And be back. We will be back next week talking about a movie that came out this past weekend. And go check out my reviews. Yo, can y'all go check out my reviews? I'm asking nicely. Like the reviews are what I put a lot of my time and pride into, and they're like my pride and joy. And to see them tank and not do good really makes me sad. Like yesterday with Coda, I put that out at 8 a.m. and I didn't check it until I left work. I left work at around 6 p.m. and it had 8 views. Like, come on, that just is very disheartening. So if you can, please consider going and checking them out because I put a lot of time into them, so I really do appreciate it. But that's it, guys. John says, peace out. Peace out, man. Have a good night. Have a good rest of your guys' weeks. I got videos coming out. So you guys will see me around. We got a fun one. A series is being resurrected tomorrow, guys. We got a fun video coming out tomorrow for you guys. But guys, that's pretty much it. Thank you all so much for coming out for the first episode. It's not just going to be me either. I just want to say, I'm going to try to get guests as well to talk about these movies. So it's not just going to be me each week. This week was just me because I just didn't have time to plan a guest. But like next week and the week after and after that, we're going to make it happen. But I appreciate you guys. We'll see you next week. Have a good rest of your guys' weeks. I really do hope you guys have a good rest of your week, and we'll see you next time.